There's a passion for the collection of books. There's also different levels, different grades of passions, going from passionate to bordering on, you know, mental illness probably. There's bibliomania is one of the higher grades, I think, of book obsession. Old books are fun, they have character, and new books are cool. You know, all old books are new books, so I don't want to knock new books, but you don't have the variety anymore. And new books, it's like it's one level that Barnes & Noble is like shoes, or leading up to that, it was, of course, a different economy back in the mid-'70s when we started. But it was a long time, it seemed like, before we had a book that was worth $100 that we had, you know. And now, then the next threshold would be $1,000. And then I've had several books worth over $10,000, and that's kind of fun. Some of those were very rare deluxe editions by the Darrydale Press, which specialized in very special hunting and sporting books in the 1930s. So occasionally one of those would come in and be very good. The first really valuable book I had that sold for over $10,000, which I sent to an auction, was, believe it or not, a German edition of Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations that I purchased at a garage sale that was in a box of books on a concrete floor. I grew up reading Gilbert Byron in the paper, and then I got one of his books and really liked it and read several of his books. And it's interesting, especially not only Eastern Shore history, but to read a novel set in the shore. And it's kind of fun to see what approach people take with a novel, either if it's written by a native or somebody with an interesting perspective who came here. Yeah. It's called the Come Heres. But again, it grew out of my interest. But again, it's kind of fits in with everything. Maybe you shouldn't ask me about Michener.
Okay.
I know it's not one of my favorite books. I read it the first time and I thought, oh my God. Then I badmouthed it for years, and I thought, you know, I mean, he was a nice guy, and people love the book, God knows. But then I thought, to be fair, you know, I better reread this thing, because sometimes, you know, your memory makes things worse than they are, and that's not really fair. And I could not get through it a second time. I thought, this is awful. If anybody else but Michener had written this, it wouldn't have sold 10 copies. It's just miserable. And I know what a novel is. A novel doesn't have to be, you know, a novelist can do anything they want, which is change history and do all this. And that's, I understand that. But the too many people who take it as Eastern Shore Bible. And I had one fellow come in and seriously said, couldn't understand why Chesapeake wasn't taught in schools. And gosh, you know, I could give a whole list of reasons. People still like old books. And yes, it may be like, you know, having the last buggy whip shop in the, you know, country, but it may be headed that way. But people, as they say, come in here sometime and they're book people, and you can tell it because they get about 2 steps into the store and just look around and inhale the aroma of old antiquarian books, and they love it. And I was thinking, you know, if I ever figured how to put that smell in a spray can, since they have new car smell, maybe somebody could have old book smell. The internet, obviously, it's good because everybody can go on it and sell books, and the bad thing is that everybody can go on it and sell books, some of which don't know what they're doing, and you see, you know, things labeled as first editions that aren't. And now everything, part of it was the thrill of the chase and finding a book and running it down, and now you can buy almost anything instantly with the click of a mouse. So it's all different. I mean, we can't go back. Believe it or not, I see young people come in liking books, teenagers liking books, young people liking books, children liking books, and they get a big pile and they're all excited.
That's fun.
So, and oddly enough, Nancy Drew's and Hardy Boy books are still very popular. I sell lots of them. Whether it's because the parents read them when they were growing up and have introducing to their kids, I don't know. But I've had some young kids get very excited about books. I mean, you can hold them and you can turn them upside down, you can carry them and you can drop them and you know. So I mean, they have a very physical, visceral, you know, feeling to them for some people. Seriously, one man thought that this was my personal collection. Many people think that. And then when I sell all the books, then I close the shop. They don't know it's every day there are books coming in, books going out. And it still, after 40 years, baffles me at what's difficult to understand about that concept.
Yeah.
This may be partly due to my great efforts to avoid having a real job. I don't know.
Very successful.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I hope I
Yes.
reach the same level at some point.
But it's a lot of fun, and again, if you're not making tons of money, there are so many wonderful side benefits. And being your own boss is, you know, totally ruins you. I couldn't work for anybody because I'm just used to doing anything the way I want to do it when I want to do it. I'm not saying it's not a lot of work. To do it right, it's an awful lot of work.
Yeah, no.
But sometimes, as they say, if something's fun, it's not like it's real work. Yeah, and actually another thing some people can't seem to understand is I had a lady come in and she said, it's like, I can't understand how you can stay in business being in Trappe. And I'm thinking, lady, for one thing, you're here, I got you here, but I'm on Route 50 when there's a constant stream of traffic 24/7. Trappe, in that sense, is just incidental. It just happens to be a place.
Yeah.
I'm on the highway, so
Yeah.
and with book people, many book people, if you're accessible and have parking, and they can find you, that's all you need. And yeah, it's pretty junky. It's got lots of character.
We like character.
I got character all over the place. I got layers of character.